everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alicia Brooke. If you're new here, welcome. Here on this channel, I share mommy motivation like cooking, cleaning, decluttering, organizing, all the things that go with homemaking and being a mama. I also share lifestyle, which is heavily homeschool right now because that is a new adventure that we are on this year. We are first-time homeschool parents, so I share a lot of that here. And then I hope to eventually, post-pandemic, share lots of travel with you guys. So if you're new and any of that sounds good to you, please hit that thumbs up button and go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you join this community and stick around for the long haul. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you so very much. And we'll just jump right in. In today's video, we are going to be talking about, or I'm going to be showing you guys and sharing with you the books that I read in June. Now, I am a big time reader and I read to my kids often. So we have several that I'm going to share with you today. So first, I'm going to start with the books that I read to my kiddos. I have shared these 3 books in other videos that I will link down below, but we either finished these in June or these are just the books we continued to read. So the very first book we finished in June was Mr. Popper's Penguin, and we finished this at the very beginning of June, and we watched the movie. This is such a charming little book. We really enjoyed it. It is part of our read alouds for this year, so we've already got this one over and done with, and they both loved it, and again, they still talk about it. So this was a great one. If you are creating a read aloud list, this is one I would highly recommend for you to put on your list. So, Mr. Popper's Penguin. The next book we read in June is One Crazy Summer. This was recommended by Tori over at the Oglesby Ohana, and I will have her channel linked down below. This book, we are halfway finished with it, and it is so good. There is a reason it has won all of these awards. It's an exceptional book. So I have talked about this in several other videos. Again, I will link those below, and I will have all of these books linked down below as well. But this is one that we will read again in the future. It is excellent. And then this is a book that I have only read to my daughter, and we are still working our way through the Borrowers series. This is the second book in this series called The Borrowers Afield. We do have the entire collection that I purchased off of Amazon. This book we read pretty slowly, like a chapter or even maybe just half a chapter at night right before bed. This is, if you have a younger kiddo, like my daughter is about to be 9, I don't know that they would really be into it. Some of the words, even I have to Google their meaning. It's just very rich. The descriptions are very literary, and it's excellent. It's an excellent story. I don't know that it is one of my favorite series. Like, after we finish the second one, we may take a break from the series and come back to it later. My daughter really likes it, and she's following along with it great. I don't know. Just not one of my absolute favorites. The first book of the series was great. It really kept our attention, and it was very good. And again, we are almost completely finished with this one, and it may pick up again. I'll let you know in my July what we read video next month when that comes out, what my final thoughts were. But yeah, this is another book we read in June, and we are almost finished with it. Alright, so these are the 3 that I finished or am almost finished with reading in the month of June to my kiddos. And of course we read tons of little books, but those are the big ones that we did read alouds with. All right, moving on to the books that I personally read for me in the month of June. The first one that I read was Live, Love Now by Rachel Stafford.
Mommy, we're gonna make the puppet show.
Okay. Read every one of her books. I follow her blog. She is the same author of the Hands-Free Mama, Hands-Free Live, the Hands-Free, what is it, Revolution, or what I can't remember. I will link it down below. So this is a book. Here's what the young people in your life are desperate for you to know. Now more than ever, young people need adults who are truth tellers, not taskmasters. Encouragers, not enforcer. Guides, not half listeners. In Live, Love Now, New York Times best-selling author Rachel Macy Stafford offers illuminating and straightforward strategies to help you guide young people through today's biggest challenges with humanness and heart, so they can discover the deep, life-giving connections they are longing for. So this book was a great book. I underlined and highlighted and dog-eared so many pages. This is one that I am going to read again when my kids are teenagers. If you are an adult who has teenage children, or even preteen, this is a book that you need to read. If you are a youth group leader or a teacher or anyone who directly works with youth, this is a fantastic read. Great book. And again, it is one that I will read again as my kids age and they get older. I'm keeping this book close and handy. All right, and then this next one. It is a book that is near and dear to my new mama homeschool heart, or new homeschool mama heart. The Read Aloud Family by Sarah Mackenzie. I cannot even, can y'all even tell how many pages of this are dog-eared? So it talks about why reading aloud to your kiddos, even once they can read to themselves, why that's important, how she implements it in her family, why you should implement it in yours. And then one of the best parts about this book is at the back of it, there is an index of books, and they are broken down by age, recommendations, and y'all, this is such a good resource for picking good books that are, you know, not just fluff, and these are great books. And that is what I really like. Like, it has books for ages 0 to 3, all the way up until, you know, the teenage years. Exceptional. This is the same author that, Teaching from Rest, which is another book that I have talked about on here and recommended. Same author. She also has a podcast called the Read Aloud Revival, and I will have that link down below. It's great. Also, it answers a lot of questions, gives lots of book recommendations on there, and you also get to hear from kiddos at the end of it, and it's just a really sweet little podcast. So I say little, but it's got millions of downloads and it's a good one. So the Read Aloud Family, again, highly recommend, especially if you are a new homeschool mom, or even if you're not a new homeschool mom, but you do homeschool and you'd like to implement reading aloud in your homeschool, then I'd highly recommend this book. If nothing else, for the great resource at the back with the book list. Another book that I started but I've not finished is The Brave Learner, another homeschool book. We started our homeschool this week, so June was kind of like my prep my heart, get ready, take in all the information month, and so this one made the list. This book came recommended to me from other homeschool moms, and so The Brave Learner, Finding Everyday Magic in Homeschool Learning and Life, and this one is by Julie Bogart. And again, it has been very good. I've got lots of little notes and dog ears and all the things in here. I'm not very far into this one, but so far so good. hopefully I will finish it by mid-July, and I will give you a full update next month in my July video. So, and another book that I read this month or in June that was just great is the book The Hate U Give, and I'll go ahead and read this little synopsis to you. It says, 16-year-old Star Carter moves between two worlds, the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. The uneasy balance between these worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend Khalil at the hands of a police officer. Khalil was unarmed. Soon afterward, his death is a national headline. Some are calling him a thug, maybe even a drug dealer and a gangbanger. Protesters are taking to the streets in Khalil's name. Some cops and the local drug lord try to intimidate Star and her family. What everyone wants to know is what really went down that night, and the only person alive who can answer that is Star. But what Star does or does not say could upend her community. It could also endanger her life. And this book was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. And this is a young adult novel, and it's about one girl's struggle for justice, and it was just an exceptional read, especially given the current world situation. So it was very good, and it was very enlightening. It was very sad, and it is a book I highly recommend, and I will have it linked down below. Again, I rented that one at my library. I wish I had it here. I will show you real quickly what that book looks like. This is the book, The Hate U Give. It is excellent. Highly recommend, and I will have it linked down below. So, alright guys, that's it. Those are the books that I either read aloud to my kiddos or I read to myself for the month of June. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thank you for sticking around. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!